All right, Mark, Farsley Celtic present the next challenge for Banbury United. Are you in fine fettle ahead of the game?
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Obviously, we want a reaction from the players after last Saturday's disappointment, and I think that's what we'll be looking for. I think when we took a heavy defeat up at South Shields a couple of weeks ago, the reaction in the next couple of games was very good. So we'll be looking for something similar. Farsley have had a sort of fair start to the season. They find themselves in mid-table. So, we see it as a game that if we get ourselves right and our attitudes are where we want them to be, that it's something that we're looking to get something from the game.
Yeah, it's again another journey up north, so to speak. But Thursday night ahead of the game, talk about the squad. How were we off for fitness and injuries?
Yeah, we're not quite where we'd like to be. Lee Henderson, he's still struggling. I think his knee is showing sort of good signs of recovering, but I don't think he's going to be fit for the weekend. Similarly, Jack Davis. Jack actually played last Saturday up at Nantwich, and really, I think if we would have had the bodies that we wanted to in terms of defensive options, he probably wouldn't have played that game. Sort of aggravated his knee a little bit. So in that defensive unit, we are sort of perhaps not quite where we'd want to be in terms of personnel. And I think we've struggled a little bit on that throughout the season, really, Andy. I mean, when we think we're sort of looking like we've got a settled partnership there in the midfield at the centre of the defence, we seem to sort of, suffer an injury or two, which sort of puts us back a little bit. And obviously that's a key part of the team. You want to sort of settle partnership there at the back, and we haven't really had that since the start of the season. We've always been trying to sort of patch things up a little bit in the back unit, which isn't always helpful. But I was hoping to bring a loan player in from a championship club, a centre back, but I don't think that's looking like it's going to happen now, unfortunately, before the weekend, which was a bit of a blow because we've been working on that all week. So look, yeah, we have got a couple of issues with injuries, particularly in our back line, but we have to overcome that. We have got Dom Revan back available this week. That was a bit of a miss for us last week because Barnett, wouldn't allow him to play, which is understandably, they didn't want him cup tied. But Dom will be back, so that gives us a bit of extra strength in our defensive unit, and we'll have to see sort of what team we decide to go with.
How are you feeling in general with the way the squad is coming together?
Yeah, I think we are still finding out about players and learning about players. As strange as that might sound after 10 sort of competitive games now, yeah, I think that we're still looking at that. And I think if you look at our form, it's been a little bit hit and miss and a little bit inconsistent, and that's something we're looking to rectify. And I do sort of perhaps see there being some sort of movement in the squad, over the next week or two until we sort of think that we've got it right. And if I'm being totally honest, perhaps at the moment we're still at this sort of stage where we're thinking, is he right for our group? Is he going to be strong enough for this level? And that's where we are with it at the moment. And I think that's a consequence of the fact that we had to bring so many players into the club. I mean, I don't want to sort of always keep harping back to what's happened because everybody knows that, but usually when you come into a club, you would expect sort of to have maybe sort of half a dozen lads from the previous season that would perhaps be staying at the club, or and then what you usually do as a new manager coming in is try and bring a few players in to supplement that. And but unfortunately we've had to bring sort of 14, 15 players into the club, and as much as you try and do as much research as you possibly can about players, I mean, you look at even at the top levels. I mean, these clubs in the Premier League will spend billions of pounds on transfers and have, huge recruitment teams, and sometimes they don't get it right. So at our level, when we're trying to sort of do it, ourselves, me as the manager, as well as sort of coaching the team, and it's. You're not always going to get every single signing you make 100% spot on. And, yeah, so I think that we are still looking to sort of really get the squad how we would like it in terms of quality and numbers. And, I think that's probably going to be ongoing.